Hi, Doc.
Thank you. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You were a meme last week with all the little dooms crawling all over you. That was so funny.
The Grand Doom A Star is Born, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I love what. Oh, someone tweeted you about this. My 8-year-old just said, "Mom, I hope his grandkids come back again today. That was so fun."
I'll mention it to his agent.
You are gonna totally blow up your Dr. Doom meme with all of this cuteness.
I know.
All
By
right.
the way, Stephanie, before we get started, I don't have any creatures.
No, there's nothing alive in your hair.
Okay, fine. Okay.
No, your hair is
Okay, but you'll let me know.
Are you doing jokes?
He's doing jokes.
Are you doing
No,
material?
I'm just asking.
He's workshopping material.
Dr. Shecky Redlener from Columbia University Bar and Grill.
Does your audience even get that?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Doc, I don't even know where to start with this. Well, let's start with this creepiness of this video yesterday.
I think this was a blessing from God that I caught it. This was a blessing in disguise. I caught it. I heard about this drug. I said, let me take it. It was my suggestion. I said, let me take it. And it was incredible the way it worked. Incredible. And I think if I didn't catch it, we'd be looking at that like a number of other drugs. But it really did a fantastic job. I want to get for you what I got, and I'm going to make it free. You're not going to pay for it. It wasn't your fault that this happened. It was China's fault, and China's going to pay a big price.
So, Doc, I was unaware, not being a doctor. So patients tell you what drug they're going to take. Is that how it works? I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah, because how else would you get started? You have to say, what is it you'd like to? Do you want surgery? You tell me, and we'll make it happen. And
let's just for a second talk about how offensive that is to the 210,000 families that have lost someone. That this is a blessing from God. Okay, can you? So
there's a name for this, Stephanie. It's called the VIP syndrome, where rich and powerful people can actually dictate what it is they want. And unfortunately, a lot of people in my profession will just comply with it. I mean, that's the agenda. That's the MO there. And when you're the president of the United States, you say, I want this, and your medical team jumps.
Yeah.
And it's just pathetic. And a lot of very famous and wealthy people get horrible care because of it. Anyway,
So-
it's a whole other story, but yeah.
Here's say famous people can grab doctors by the and they when you're famous they let you do it. I mean, not you, but
Please, no, not me.
Okay. Because this Dr. Conley, I know doctors don't like to criticize other doctors, but I don't. First of all, he's like, oh, President Trump is reporting no symptoms. I'm like, oh, that's how this works. Again, you just take patient's word for that he isn't that he feels great or he wants this. I mean, first of all, okay, can you talk to us about Regeneron for a minute? Because the other thing is they said, oh, he has antibodies now. Well, he just got injected with antibodies, right? So
Yeah.
And
we have no idea how long the effect of those antibodies are, how long it will last, and whether it will actually give him any sort of permanent immunity, which is not the case. Don't forget, Stephanie, this is an experimental drug. It's not available routinely for people.
Right.
The testing on it, I mean, it's been used in other things like in cancer, but the actual testing of this drug in COVID is at 0.0 at the moment. So it's theoretically interesting, but certainly not a proven situation that we'd want to make available to everybody who gets COVID. We're a long, long way away from that.
Well, okay. I hate to inflict more on you, but this is this morning. Okay.
I'm back because I'm a perfect physical specimen, and I'm extremely young. And so I'm lucky in that way. And seriously,
what were your
I don't
symptoms?
have any. I don't have heart problems. I don't have diabetes. I don't have any of the problems that you read about.
Okay, doctor. Is he not? This is not name calling. Is he not an elderly, obese patient with a heart? We know that he has. That's one of the only things they revealed is that he does have a heart condition of some kind. So none of
Which
that.
I don't know what that is, but he's clearly, because of age and because of, let's call it what is obesity,
right?
This guy is a high-risk patient. There's no question about that. And by the way, if you recall, when he walked up the steps to the White House balcony after getting off the helicopter, when he got to the top of those steps, he was gasping for breath. I had an hour and a half of nonstop phone calls with other physicians around the country who said, "Oh my God, did you see this guy?" And he needed to go back to the hospital at that point, actually. But in any case, he was definitely ill. He didn't look so great yesterday either. His facial color, other than the places where he put orange makeup on for some reason,
Yeah.
looked awful. And I think he's so used to misleading people
Yeah.
that this is just totally expected. But what was surprising, Steph, was the misleading statements made by his physicians. You know, that phalanx of doctors in front of Walter Reed, led by Dr. Conley, was really distressing for a lot of us in the field. And he was trying to hide behind the privacy laws, the so-called HIPAA laws. And when he was asked directly, did the president have a lung scan or x-rays, and how were those? He said, "Oh, I can't reveal it because of HIPAA, which is the privacy law." That's not how it goes. So that how it goes is that the patient can reveal anything he or she desires to be revealed. So it was the president, not the doctor, who didn't want that revealed.
I'm not, again, a doctor, but doesn't that seem to say to you he has COVID-related pneumonia, and that's why we're not going to tell you? Or there's something going on with his lung?
Right. You know, when you don't say something, and when you refuse to answer, you are answering in effect. And that's exactly what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
That this guy had more severe involvement with a lung complication that it would be important for us to know about publicly.
Doc, you had talked about, a lot on Twitter with, as you say, a lot of other doctors about how terrible he looked and clearly, gasping for air. You said, "I predict he'll be back in the hospital soon." I mean, as I read and understand from doctors, I mean, this is the course of this where we'd be hitting this inflammatory thing, or I don't know when he would be off the steroids. I mean, he is on some combination of stuff that really hasn't been done yet, right?
Right. He's on remdesivir, dexamethasone, of course, which is a big time steroid, and the monoclonal antibodies. And yeah, so he's getting high-powered drugs that we normally reserve for hospitalized patients, and he's getting what he wants because he's the president, and we're just waiting. And he won't really be out of the woods until probably Monday, something like that. And we'll see. I mean, we wish him well. I don't want anybody to be sick. But the recklessness has become the real central MO of the president, whether it comes to public policy or his personal health. Apparently, recklessness is his badge of honor there.
Well, okay. Speaking of dangerous misinformation that unbelievably he continues to spew as a COVID patient, but this yesterday.
Look, what happens is if you're anywhere around this thing, you can catch it. People caught it. And I'm not just talking about this location. I'm talking about many other locations. Now, what happens is you get better. That's what happens. You get better. Now, we have drugs now that we didn't even know about 4 months ago, like Regeneron, and I'm not even talking about remdesivir. Remdesivir is, it's fine. But the Regeneron, I view it as a cure, not just a therapeutic. I view it as a cure because I took it.
So he's declaring a cure for COVID that doctors and science have not called a cure, right? I'm going to guess that he or friends are invested in Regeneron now. They've switched from hydroxychloroquine to Regeneron. But what can you, just react to what you just heard.
Yeah, so there's an important principle here, and I think this is worth mentioning to your audience. A single case is not proof of anything. It's called an anecdote.
Yeah. It's
like a single thing that happened. It is a far cry from actually scientifically establishing something as an effective drug. And this goes for our everyday lives as well as for what we're hearing on the television from the president. He is in no way, shape, or form an example of something that could be interpreted as proof of cure. He's not cured. We have no idea what cured even means in something like what he has. So I think we ought to just kind of completely discount that, like we've discounted the 20,000 falsehoods that he's told since the beginning of his presidency. But this particular one is dangerous because it is an anti-scientific statement consistent with the anti-scientific philosophy and approach of the administration. This is people just need to ignore what they just heard.
I mean, they're already using it on Fox to go. See, the mask doesn't help because they have the one picture of him in a mask, and this is no big deal because he got over it. And then he said this in this video.
So hopefully this is going to be not just a therapeutic, it's going to be much more than a therapeutic. You're going to get better, you're going to get better fast, just like I did. So again, a blessing in disguise. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, so that's from President Super Spreader.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is, they've been calling him Typhoid Trump. The reference being to one individual who's actually made a lot of other people sick and have died. And all these events for weeks and weeks and weeks, like the announcement in the Rose Garden of the Supreme Court nominee, these events with people not wearing masks and glad handing and shaking hands and all of that stuff in proximity to one another without masks, these are super spreader events. And the president is actually responsible for hundreds and hundreds of people. We won't even know how many people getting COVID. It's crazy, Stephanie.
Doc, can I get your reaction to? So Trump he's refused to do the next debate. First of all, I don't know what combination of the coronavirus and steroids, but he said, I already won the second debate.
What?
So he's a little confused, but so he's refusing to do it because they said it's going to be, viral, if you'll excuse the expression, but because obviously he has coronavirus. I mean, they said it's going to be remotely, so they've refused, right? But they said, here are the facts. President Trump will have posted multiple negative tests prior to the debate, so there's no need for this unilateral declaration. The safety of all involved can easily be achieved without canceling a chance for voters to see the candidates go head to head. What? Okay, he is still, we don't know. He could still be shedding virus. This is only next week, right?
Yeah, he could still be shedding virus. And don't forget, he's got an entourage with him. The president just doesn't go to a venue by himself,
right?
In coach class on an airplane. He's got a huge entourage with him. Who knows how many of those people are positive? We already know that there's 20 to 30 people that we know are positive. And I think Biden and his people they're totally correct. We cannot have a debate in person with a person who's got documented COVID. It's crazy and irresponsible, but we're not, surprised by irresponsibility, are we, Steph?
Yeah, no.
The president's point? No.
Listen, thank you for bringing raising the bar on being a doctor, because Ronnie Jackson, who's the Candyman, as they call him, he's the doctor that said Trump weighs 230 pounds and is in the best health of any president ever. So he tweeted, the president's in very good health and has no comorbidities. You just said, hey, Ronnie Jackson, are you serious? POTUS is totally high risk. You need to get yourself schooled at COVID-19. I mean, that, you're right, really is the astounding thing, is the number of doctors he can get to lie for him or to say things that are, like you say, you have to be a doctor to go, he's 74 and obese. Those are comorbidities
Stephanie,
right there.
A doctor is whispering in his ear, this guy, Scott Atlas, that, hey, herd immunity would be a great idea. Let's go for it. Let everybody just get it and we'll get through it. Oh, that would cost about 2 million American lives, but what the hell? And I think, if you want to find a doctor who will lie for you, who will give you stupid information, easy to do. This is like, it's not a hard search. And Trump is particularly good at finding sycophants who will do whatever he says, whether they have an MD degree or not. Yeah. This is what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, let's get to the important thing, and that is that Room Rater gave you a 10.
That's right.
Was very excited about the Fauci painting, incredibly done by Joan Baez. And folks want to know who signed the USA Africa poster. You got a 10 out of 10 on Room Rater, and then you responded: Paul Simon, Lionel Richie, Billy Joel, Cyndi Lauper, Willie Nelson, Michael Jackson, Smokey Robinson. I think Stevie Wonder's thumbprint. That's all I can still read or remember. Wow, that was some name dropping you did there,
epic
sir.
Name dropping.
Hey, I was asked. I cannot deny.
That's
Once
right.
I was asked, I had to produce.
Now, in addition to Joan Baez, you've just booked all those people for our happy hour, with the exception of
Michael
Jackson. Yeah, right?
Yes, some are no longer with us, so we can't,
But everyone else, you're going to hook us up, right?
In fact, they're in your outer office. They're waiting for you.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly. Yeah, they're in the green room.
Yeah, in the green room. Yeah.
Give our love to the Grand Dooms.
We'll so do. Thank you, Stephanie and Travis. Chris, we'll see you
Thank you,
next week.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Doc.